I'm going to skip number 7 for a second and go straight to number 8. Yes, because that leading coefficient was 4. I heard Jack say it first. I'm going to give him the point. Let's go to number 8. It's an easy factor. What and what? It's an easy factor. Okay, -3, -2. -3 minus 2 is -5. -3 times -2 is +6. Arturo, Gilberto, I did to you again today. I tried to make it Arturo this time, but something with the O's. Yes, you can get a point. Say your words, Karen. Why? If I fold this out right now, I'd have b squared minus 2b minus 3b plus 6. I combine those like terms, suddenly I have what I had to begin with. Okay, number 9 is my favorite. Why? Yeah, it's the difference of perfect squares. I kind of sort of heard that from 2, so we'll give 2 the point. Okay, and the answer would be, and thank you, Jax, your group can have the point. Okay, let's stop being wimps and go back to number 7 with that leading coefficient of 4. I'm going to do a guessing check on that. If you want to slide divide bottoms up, you can. I'm just more of a guessing check girl. We got a lot of options with this guessing check because of that 4 in front. Terribly, terribly annoying. That 4 in front means we could do 2p and 2p. Or, because of that 4 in front, we could do 4p and p. I don't know. We have to think it through. We've got to pick which one to do. And so not only do we have the decisions with the 4s, of do I do 2 and 2 or 4 and 1 or 1 and 4 or whatever, now we have decisions with 49 as well. What times what is 49? 7 times 7 is 49. There's something else that also gets you to 49. You're overthinking it. 1 and 49. So who gets the point? Okay, so I'm needing either 7 and 7 or 1 and 49. What are you feeling, Paige? You answered that. You want to try 7 and 7 or 1 and 49? Okay, do you want to try it with the 2 P's, the 4 P, and the P? The 2 P's, she said. Okay, if we try the 7 and 7, do I do both positive 7s, positive 7 and negative 7? What do I decide about the signs? Look at what we're given. We have to be very careful. We want the middle to be negative. We want the last to be positive. So we need both. We need both negative. Okay, so if we FOIL this out, 4p squared minus 14p minus 14p plus 49. And suddenly we're sad because our guess is incorrect. Because this would be 4p squared minus 28p plus 49. We don't want a 28, we want a 35. So that's okay, we guessed incorrectly, no big deal, just need to make a different guess. I like our 7 and 7 idea, let's try it. But let's do 4p and p instead of 2p and 2p. If we try that, 4p squared minus 28p minus 7p plus 49. Is that the correct guess? Why? And gives you the negative 35 to explain it. So we'll give her the point. 10 is a great problem for the day. Now, I stink, and you know by Monday you'll actually know your test grade. But at the moment, I'm not done with the stack of tests. My bad. However, the ones I have graded, I've noticed a pattern on their last test. Most people did really well on the hard problems, long division and synthetic division. They got that. They rocked it. Heck, they can even distribute and handle simplifying polynomials. Most people made their mistakes on what were supposed to be the easy ones involving the rules of exponents. So that means they messed up on the ones that were really from their math workshops. saying all that, that leads me to, if I were you, I'd put a star by number 10 on this math workshop, because I bet your bottom dollar that there is a difference of cubes on the next test. So if you're wanting to know what's on the next test, and you're trying to not make the same mistakes you just possibly made with rules of exponents, then you need to make sure you understand difference of cubes. There's an acronym we're supposed to recall that has to do with the cubes. What was the acronym? 3 I said it first. They were freaking all over it. Get your point. We said the S was for same sign. The O was for opposite sign. And then always positive perfect. And what that meant was we have a binomial and a trinomial. And that binomial, same sign, well, my sign is negative, so I have to be negative. Opposite sign of a negative would be positive, and then always positive. So now you and I just have to figure out what numbers or variables go in each of these slots. Well, the x part's easy because x to the third is x to the third. The hard part is the 27. What to the third is 27? Jack's had it first. Get your point. 3 to the third is 27. Can someone help me fill in the bottom? Now that we know it's an x and a 3, can someone help me fill in the bottom? Like, what do I put in this first slot? And then what do I put in the next slot? What do I put here? X. He's close. We'll give him a point for the x and the 3. To still remember what this is supposed to be, it's not just x. X squared, and then what's next after that? 3x, and then last is, tell me the right number. Ooh. Second period, normally you never let me down. Why are you letting me down today? Okay, it's supposed to be x and 3, and then we do x squared, which is x squared, and the last slide is 3 squared, which is 9, and in the middle it's where they're 2 multiplied together. We're cool with the x and the 3. X squared, 3 squared, x times 3. We did quite a few of these the other day about, like, maybe not math workshop last week, but the one before that? I don't know, we did quite a few of these the other day if we need to look back over it, because we put a star by it for a reason, telling you difference of cubes is making the next test. Okay, are there any questions about these math workshops? We will get caught up to first and third on Monday. You're normally really fast, so we'll handle 11 through 13 then. Let's move on to the notes you didn't get to do yesterday, because you can't help there with assembly. Life is life. Okay, in your giant packet from forever ago. We've already handled page 1. We've handled page 2. I'm wanting to go to the back of page 3. It starts off with independent practice. Oh, I gotta find my other packet. That's where I want to go. Oh, what did I do with my other copy? Tyler, turn around and hand me yours. Yeah, that's all. Oh, thank you. Oh, that's why. Never mind, Tyler. Mine's on the copier. That explains all my problems. Okay. I'm wanting to start off here. Now, I briefly want to discuss what we were discussing 2 days ago. I need you to return to me. We were discussing something called end behavior. And we're supposed to remember from now on certain types of graphs. We're supposed to remember something about an x squared, especially if it's got a positive number, and something about an x squared if it has a negative leading coefficient. If we have an x squared and there's a positive leading coefficient, what should the graph look like? Tell me a letter of the alphabet. I heard the right answers and then I heard the wrong answer, so I can't really give it to them. Does another group want to try? One of them was right, one of them was wrong. That makes me sad. Parabolas were x squared, so it's either the u or the n, and you and I normally call it the happy face and the sad face. So Paige was right. And then Paige said W. I thought Karen said W. W's wrong. W's were wrong. W's made me sad. Okay, if we have a cubed, then we're supposed to remember what kind of animal and then tell me specifically about the animal. Okay, we got the snake going up the wall and the snake going down the wall. Why we got the harder one and not the easiest of them all is beyond me. And then, of course, what you were wanting to answer to begin with is the fourth is either a W if it's positive leading coefficient, or it's an M if it's a negative leading coefficient. Now, I'm literally writing W right now, an M. In real life, should our graph be a little prettier than that and more rounded? Absolutely. So more like a 2-year-old's M than our M. It needs to be more rounded. Graphs aren't supposed to be pointy. Well, good graphs aren't pointy. Some graphs are, but good graphs aren't. Okay, we're supposed to know that. We're supposed to know those. That way, in the problems we're about to see, just immediately seeing it's cubed and it's negative, we know this. We know what the graph's supposed to look like. Okay, so we're going to practice with 3 really fast, and then I have a couple problems, and then it's work for you, sadly enough. Okay, we're supposed to, on 35 here at the top, it says describe the end behavior. So I need to know both ends up, both ends down. Tell me about the end behavior on 35. Both up. And then it says determine if it's an even or odd degree. So on 35, is it even or odd? Oh, Lord Jesus, they didn't see me one day and suddenly they don't know anything. Yeah, if the ends are matching, which they are, since they're both up, it has to be an even. Odds are when they go opposite direction. Odd, opposite. So like on 35, since this end's going up and this end's going down, I know it's going to be an odd. Because the left went up and the right went down. Okay, then they ask us also to just state the number of real zeros, but before we do that, I can even tell you about that leading coefficient. The leading coefficient on number 35, is it positive or negative? Look at your graph. Is it a W or is it an M? It's a W, so the leading coefficient is positive. Okay. On 36, is the snake going up or down the wall at the beginning? It's going, when you first see a snake enter the picture, right here. How is that snake going? That's up. Yeah, that's down. It looks like we're going downhill. That's down, so the leading coefficient is negative. Whew. Okay, and then we're supposed to state the number of zeros, which means how many times do we cross that x-axis. Number 35 is easy. It is. Oh, Lord, y'all are just killing me. Straight up killing me. Thank you, Jax. 2, y'all are about to be banned because you're breaking my heart. Thank you, Jax. I don't know if you got a point or not. Please take one. 36. How many zeros? Okay, and then for the love, 37. Someone please handle the list and make me not cry. I need to know about the end behavior. I need to know even odd. I need to know the leading coefficient and about those zeros. It is odd. Left down, right up. The leading coefficient, positive or negative. How is that snake going? Is it going up the wall? It's going up the wall, so it's positive. The number of zeros is 1. Okay, cool. That's what we were supposed to basically learn 2 days ago. Now we're going to add one more step, which sadly we've already been covering. It's adding in the zeros, but you already know to add in the zeros. So, like, Ellie knows if she sees something to the fourth that's supposed to be a W. Well, Ellie doesn't know. Ellie hasn't been here. But Ellie will know that when it's supposed to be a W, a fourth, it's supposed to be a W. The zeros are going to help us draw that W a little more precisely. Okay, one other thing I want to say. Last Friday and this past Monday, we started talking about multiplicity. Like, if I have x minus 4 squared, we discussed that I have a root at 4, a 0 at 4, but it also has a multiplicity of 2. And then, I don't know, you've slept since then, so let me remind you. If it has an even multiplicity, like at 4, I have an even multiplicity, it's actually supposed to have a bounce there. So it might be a positive bounce, it might be a negative bounce, but regardless, basically, it looks like a parabola happens there. So if there's even multiplicity, you should see a bounce at that exact 0. Odd multiplicity stinks. Bless odd's heart. So if you had x minus 4 to the third, it doesn't actually get to do anything fun there. It might just cross through. It just crosses. It only gets to have the cool bounce if it's an even multiplicity, like a 2, 4, 6 exponent. Okay, so we're going to skip down to the bottom to number 8. We're going to try to graph it pretty quickly. We're going to make that list we've been making for forever now, I feel like. Because we made it before we took this fast test, so it should still be no big deal now. I need to know the degree. I need to know the leading coefficient. I need to know the zeros. What is the degree of number 8? It is 3. Gilberto got a point. 1, 2, 3 was understood. I heard Gilberto. I'm still mad at your group for being extra. Tell me about that leading coefficient and I might can forgive you. Okay, I'm not going to give it to you because, yeah, you said 1. I'm needing specifics. I'm needing specifics. Okay, and then tell me about the zeros. Okay. So I'm going to -3, -4, +2. I know my graph has to cross through those spots. My degree is 3, and my leading coefficient is a +1. So what kind of graph am I going to make at the end of the day? The degree is 3, so it's supposed to be a blank. And because it's positive, it's supposed to, yes, and this, you can have a point. So I know it's a snake going up the wall because the degree is 3 and the leading coefficient is a +1. So I might be picky at how I connect the dots, I might not, but regardless, when I make my snake, it has to go up the wall. Okay, do we have any weird multiplicities? Did anyone have a multiplicity other than 1? No. So literally, we're just going to connect the dots. I'm going to start down here.
Teacher, student, please, I need for you to please dismiss the superintendent, student advisory committee.
I don't know what words. I got to keep going. Sorry.
I need them
Okay,
dismissed
we made them
back
cross those
the
zeros.
Canopy. They should have a
They had you yesterday. They can't have you 2 days in a row.
path.
Then we crossed those zeros and made the snake cross through those points. Everyone cool with this one? Okay. Let's look at number 9. What's the degree on number 9? Now, I make a solemn oath after this point. We're going to work through this one because you're smart. From here on out, if it's 5 or higher, you might have to answer questions about it, but you don't have to graph it without your graphing calculator. And since I said this is a no graphing calculator test, we're not going to have to graph degree 5 or higher on the next test. Okay, the degree is 5. The leading coefficient is +1. So while we haven't memorized what a 5 looks like, since it's odd and it's a positive leading coefficient, we know the ends go opposite ways. Now, it's not necessarily going to be a snake. It might be an ugly snake. I don't know. But I do know they're going to be opposite because the degree is odd. And I do know it's going to start by going up the wall because it's a positive coefficient. Now, again, I don't know the the middle the way I do with a third. But I can make a pretty good educated guess. Okay, tell me about my zeros. And then tell me something else I need to list that I didn't have to list last problem. Okay, tell me about the multiplicity. Okay, you can have your point. Okay, so yes, I'm going to cross at -3. Yes, I'm going to cross at 1. I'm positive about that. Again, I know I got to start down here and go up a while just because my degree is odd and my leading coefficient is positive. And there's one more thing I know for sure has to happen, because we have a multiplicity of 2 at 1. I know for sure one of the humps in life has to happen here. So I'm positive about this. Now this part in the middle I'm going to guess, and in real life I'd use my graphing calculator to make a better guess. But I'm positive the n starts down here. We have to cross through those zeros, and I'm also positive that at that specific zero we have to have that hump. Are there any questions about number 9? Again, Miss Compton is straight up just guessing from here to here. It might not look like that. I'd have to check on my calculator. But I know for sure because of the odd degree, they went opposite directions on the ends. Because it was a positive 1, it does start off by being a snake going up the wall. And then because that multiplicity is 2, I have to have that hump at 2. Okay, let's look at number 10. Tell me some of the things I need to know. Oh my gosh. Someone who had their Wheaties this morning, help me. Gilberto said the degree was 3 and I ignored him because the degree is not 3. The degree is 4. I see the 2, I see the 1, but there's an X out here too. It should be 4. The degree is 4. So I already know it's either going to be a what or a what. One of my two options when it's degree 4. Then you can have your point back. You can have a point now, Gilberto. It's either a W or an N. Tell me about that leading coefficient. Is a -2. So is it a W or is it an M? It has to be an M. So we might get a little pickier with it, but regardless, at the end of the day, it's going to look something like an M. Now, it might be a super ugly M. I never said it was the prettiest of M's. But at the end of the day, it's going to be an M because my degree is 4 and my leading coefficient is negative. Okay, I have some zeros. Tell me about my zeros. Okay, say numbers again. You said 1 and 1? Karen.
It's going to be positive 1 and negative 3.
The opposite signs. It's positive 1 because it's the opposite of x minus 1. X plus 3, the opposite of that's negative 3. And then 0, which makes me happy because I had to go over that in other classes. Does everyone understand why the 0? Okay. I got like 3 of you playing on your phones. Good luck with that when there's tests. I don't have time for this test today. Okay. Zeros. I know I'm supposed to make an M. Tell me, is there any multiplicities I should be worried about? Well, it's not -1, it's +1, but yeah, it has a multiplicity of. So I know specifically at 1, I've got to have, and I drew it wrong, didn't I? I did. Oh, what? There you go. What letter am I supposed to be making? I'm supposed to be making an M. So I know at that 1, I need to put that second hump of the M. I realized the second I drew it that it didn't need to be going up. I'm trying to make an M, not a W. It needs to go down. My hump needs to be down. Okay, so from here I'm just guessing. I assume it starts off down here. I'm guessing on that first hump, maybe it goes really high, maybe it doesn't. Regardless, that second hump has to happen at that 1. So again, Paige might look different than me. Maybe hers goes less high. But regardless, we have to agree on the fact that because there's a multiplicity of 2, we both are putting that second M's hump at the 1. Okay, and you're smart and you can humor me and we'll still get all the things done today. Why? Might it be the purple one instead of the green one? Why would it probably be in real life that top one rather than that bottom one? We're not getting that picky on the test. I just want to know, like, why would it be the purple one and not the green one in real life? Say it again, Gilberto. It's got something to do with the problem itself. Go back to the beginning. Read the problem. What was it? What did number 10 say? What did the problem say? What was the leading coefficient? What was the leading coefficient? A -2. And what do 2's do to me? What do whole numbers do to me? They make us stretch us out, don't they? And they don't make us fatter. Fractions would make us fatter. So that's why I'm assuming that 2 would actually stretch me out. And I'm probably more like that purple one than that green one. Now, is anyone getting that picky on this next test? Heck no. As long as Jax has an M because he saw it was 4 and a negative. As long as he has his hump at that multiplicity, there's nothing else I can possibly be mad at in life. Okay, flip to the back. We've got 3 more back there. We're actually not going to do number 11. Why? Why are we not doing 11? Because it's a degree of 5. Thank you, Nick. You can have a point. We're going to skip it because it's degree 5. It's not that hard, but we're going to skip it because we're in a hurry. Okay, we are going to do number 12 and number 13. Why are these harder than the problems on the front? They don't what? They're in standard form, not factored form. We don't know their zeros. 2 get another point. I do know the degree. I do know the leading coefficient. But, yeah, I don't know the zeros. We're going to have to figure that out. What's the degree in the leading coefficient? And the leading coefficient is positive 1. So I know it's a snake going up the wall because it's 3 and positive. But I actually don't know those zeros. Paige is correct. So I'm going to have to factor now. That's probably why we've been doing that all year in algebra 2 trick. Factoring was supposed to be useful somehow. Is there a GCF? Yes. Thank you. Whoever said X, get a point. Can you factor that? X squared plus 7x plus 10. What times what gives you 10? What plus what gives you 7? 5 and 2. Thank you, Gilberto. You can have a point. 5 plus 2 is 7. 5 times 2 is 10. Yay! So now I know my zeros. Where are my zeros? Yes, dear. I already gave you a point, or else I give you another one. 0, -5, -2. Does everyone understand how Gilberto got us there? Okay? Do any of those zeros have a multiplicity we need to be worried about? No. So literally, I'm just trying to draw a snake going up the wall, and I need it to hit those 3 points. So snake, go up my wall, and hit those 3 points. Gilberto's might look a little different than mine. As long as the snake is going up the wall and hitting those 3 points, I'm not mad. Are there any questions about 12? Okay, then let's look at 13. We need to factor it as well, but before we go crazy, can you tell me... Oh my goodness, I need to stop using that pen. Can you tell me the degree and the leading coefficient of number 13? So what does that tell me the graph's going to be? Yep. Okay, so I know I'm going to make a W. I need to factor this first and figure out my zeros. What can I factor out? What comes out? 1, I actually heard you. Say your words again, Jack. Sorry, don't I need a placeholder for x? I'm actually going to pull out an x squared, and it's going to end up working out nicely. Otherwise, I would try to substitute like you're wanting to, Jack. Yes. I don't just like that at all. It's a really smart idea, but thankfully, they've written this problem nice. So if we pull out an x squared, it ends up being an easy factor inside the parentheses. Thankfully. Otherwise, yeah, you're on the right track. And that was good and outside the box. So, like, you get a point for that. Okay, I need to factor x squared plus 8x plus 16. X plus 4. And x plus what? It's both, yeah, because 4 plus 4 is 8. 4 times 4 is 16. I'm actually going to use one more line before I start saying the zeros. And if you can tell me why, I will give you 2 points. But why? Why am I going to do it? It is, but why? How is that going to help me graphing wise? Why would it help me to write one more step before I start making my graph? How is that going to change my graph? Oh, Paige. Yes, she gets her 2 points. Okay, so Paige is right. She looked question marky at it, but yeah, she's right. We actually want to do this last step because, yes, my zeros are at 0 and -4, but since I wrote it like this, it helps me realize, hey, both of these zeros have a multiplicity of 2. So, yes, I'm going to cross at 0, and yes, I'm going to cross at -4, but at both of these spots, since they have a multiplicity of 2, both of these spots have to have humps, which it means at the end of the day when I draw my W, both humps in the W have to be at those zeros. So if I connect the dots and make a W, maybe it's like this. Maybe yours doesn't have that high of a middle hump. Does not matter. Maybe yours is more. Doesn't matter. As long as you understand the humps of the W have to happen at those zeros because those zeros had a multiplicity of 2. Are there any questions about this? Bless your heart that you had an assembly yesterday, because I know St. Mary's awesome, so you're almost caught up to first and third as of now, especially because I'm going to reduce your assignment. So flip to the next page. I got good news and bad news. The bad news is that I still want your maze whenever you get that done. It's okay if you don't turn it in today. I want it Monday then. You're about to take a checkpoint. There are 2 graphing problems. That's going to be priority number 1, the checkpoint. The next page of your notes says page 12. We're going to say it's not due till Tuesday, but let's be honest, Ms. Compton's going to start talking about something new on Monday, so it would really be best if you could power through and get this done today. I'm going to say you have to try. Now, we've already tried some of these, so there aren't that many problems. I really want you to try. Let's see. Let's do 12 and 8 and 6 and 4. I'm with you. Let's try those. If you try more than those, you'll get extra points. Let's not try 4. That's too high. We'll do 5. Okay, so 5, 6, 8, 12. If you want to do more, you can get extra points, especially if you try those like 4 that are degree 4 or higher. But you're special, so I'm reducing your assignment. That way you can get caught up to first and third. It's the thing we've just been practicing. You don't have to use your graphing calculator. You're just supposed to make an educated guess. Like, if I know it's to the 4th and it's a positive coefficient, it's supposed to be W. Okay. Tylen's going to pass out the checkpoint. When you get it done, bring it to me.